What's up out there? So we got news that Last Epoch is releasing their next cycle April 2nd, and the big controversial part is that Path of Exile 2 is stepping on their toes by releasing the next big patch for Path of Exile 2 on April 4th. So thought I would give my thoughts and my plans for what I'm going to be playing and what I plan on playing and what my expectations are from all of this. So we'll start off with Path of Exile 2 because this is the easiest decision I think I've made in a long time. I will not be playing Path of Exile 2 for any length of time. I will be checking this patch out. I am going to watch their live stream and I'm going to see what changes they make to the game, but I don't have faith that they're going to make the changes that I want to see to the game. I don't care about towers. I've not even gotten to one in the game yet. I've got a Titan, I think it is, in the end game. I've spent 100 hours playing the thing. Not the Titans exclusively, but I spent 100 hours playing Path of Exile 2 to just pretty much realize I don't like Path of Exile 2 at all. I don't hate the game. I hate playing the game. Big difference. And I've been thinking about doing videos for it. I couldn't quite get the videos correct. So this is basically going to be I'm going to try to make this as short and sweet as possible. The things that I don't like about Path of Exile 2 is the fact that they've based it on the ruthless drop rates in PoE 1. So basically you don't get loot ever unless you spec into Magic Find and all that kind of stuff. So you just don't get anything. And you see that showing up, that philosophy shows up throughout the game because you can't buy uncut skill gems. Hopefully they change that because that's one thing that I like is trying new skills out, but you can't unless you have an uncut skill gem to put it on. And same thing with the support gems and the spirit gems and all that stuff. Like you just can't, you have to go find them. You can't get them. The gear you get is very few and far between. The crafting system is just all random and you basically craft on something and then you're supposed to combine them or something like that. I don't know. I didn't vibe with any of the systems that they have in the game. And I fully understand they've basically taken PoE 1, stripped everything out and made it down to a very what we'll call a foundation, and they're going to build up from there. I understand that. But the drop rate and the fact that you will have no loot and you will like it through the entire campaign and half the mapping process, like I just didn't like that. It didn't feel good. My builds always felt crappy. I never felt like I was doing damage. And if you play PoE 1 and you have a bad build, you'll know it. Like you'll know. And all of my builds in PoE 2 felt like that. And there were so many times, I appreciate the fact that they set the skill gems up the way they did so you can just reassign skills and everything and swap things out, because I swap things out a lot. And I respect my passive tree. So many times I tried multiple different characters. I ended up sticking with the melee character and getting it into the end game, but now it's kind of stalled out. I can't do anything because I can't respec because I keep dying. You lose your, it's just all that stuff. So number one is the really bad drop rate for everything and all the things that entails, because I think that's one of the core philosophies of it. And the second thing that I really just despise about the game is the movement speed. And we're going to talk about a whole bunch of other games like this that don't have these problems and they don't have the god-awful movement speed. You just move like an old lady with a walker trying to move down the street. It's miserable. And then you get bogged down into Act 2. Like the middle of Act 2, they need to tighten that up and chop a bunch of that out. Act 3, I think was fine up until you go to the past. That's when the next act should start. They should just chop that off and put that in some other act. Like they need to shorten the acts up. And I thought somewhere along the way, they said that PoE 2 campaign was supposed to be more streamlined and quicker than the PoE 1 campaign. Yet it's taken me 2, 3, or 4 times as much as a normal. Like it takes me 10 hours to go through a PoE 1 campaign. I think it took me 40 hours to go through PoE 2, the 3 acts twice. So if it's going to take that long or 30 hours or whatever, I'm not on board with that. And I've tried multiple characters. They all stall out in Act 1 or 2 somewhere. And I'm so over this game. I just don't ever want to go back to it. It's just feels like misery. And then it's also a very exhausting game because you're always trying to not die constantly. You can't get into just like a little zen moment where you can just enjoy the game, sit back, relax like you can with PoE1 or basically any of the other games we're about to talk about. So for me, it's a very easy, hard pass on Path of Exile 2. I don't care if they release April 4th. I don't care if they get a player base on it. If you enjoy the game and you plan on playing it, good. Go and enjoy it. Enjoy every second of it. I hate it. I don't want to play it. I don't hate the game. I just hate playing the game. And what I do look forward to is the full campaign. I will play through that. And I'm going to check out the patches. Like I did this with Diablo 4. I despised Diablo 4 at launch too, or shortly after launch when I first started playing it. But I gave it a year-ish. I think it was over a year. Went back to it here over Christmas time when PoE 2 sucked. I went back into Diablo 4. Oddly enough, I went from PoE 2 to Diablo 4, whatever. But I ended up enjoying Diablo 4 after they spent enough time ironing out all the problems. And I think that's what's going to happen with PoE 2. I'm going to try it out for a little bit. I'm probably going to hate it. I'm probably not going to want to play it very long. And I'm probably going to jump into Last Epoch. So let's talk about Last Epoch. Now, I was looking at Last Epoch here. I thought this thing had been out for like 2 years. This thing released last February, I think. So it's only been out like a little over a year. And it feels like it's been forever since it came out. And we're finally getting the next cycle. Me personally, I thought Last Epoch was kind of a mid game. I liked a lot of the things that they did. The crafting system's cool. The SSF style that they've got built in there with the Circle of Fortune, I think it is. That was really cool. I liked a lot of things about it, but I thought the maps kind of sucked. The graphics weren't all that great. It just, the maps had a weird scale to them. I don't know. I want to do a video about that someday, but maybe when we get back playing Last Epoch again. But I really liked, I wanted to play some of the other classes and things like that, but Path of Exile just kept calling me, so I moved back over to that. But I am very much looking forward to, because PoE 2 is in such a state that I don't want to play it, and PoE 1's league is going to go on for, the never-ending league is going to keep going on for a while. I'm looking forward to Last Epoch. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with it. And I don't have some other game tugging me off saying, hey, you got to go play this. It's not pulling me away from it. I'll be focused totally on Last Epoch for a little while at least. I want to run through and see what they have to offer. I didn't like the monolith system they had. I thought it was pretty bland. I mean, it was just a bunch of, there was a lot of it. But it's like the Starfield 1,000 planets, Oh boy, you've got 1,000 planets and 5 of them are populated. So the rest of them are boring and empty. And that's how I saw Last Epoch's monolith system. I got into it a little bit and I'm like, this sucks. I don't want to keep doing this. So I went back and played PoE. I mean, even though you're doing this similar kinds of things in PoE, there's so much content on the maps and you can do different builds and try different things. And Last Epoch just didn't have that kind of thing that PoE does for me anyway. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Last Epoch plays a year later. And now that I've played a bunch of other games like this and, checked out Diablo 4 and Titan Quest and did another run through Grim Dawn, I'm very much looking forward to comparing all those to Last Epoch. So I'm very excited for the next cycle for Last Epoch. I'm looking forward to it and I can't wait to play it. But there's a lot of other stuff that's on the plate too. So we still have Path of Exile's Freesia League is still going until April 23rd, so I'll be still playing that. Settlers League is going until, I don't know, June or something at this point. I still have characters in there that I will be playing off and on if I get tired of Last Epoch or something like that. I'll probably be working on some PoE stuff, and there's a couple ideas that are floating around that I've had that I want to try. I may save those for next league, I'm not sure, but we've still got Freesia League, we've still got Settlers League going on. Diablo 4, I think I'm done with. I don't know that I'm going to go back. I just don't really have an interest. It's not that I hate playing it. I enjoyed it, but I don't think there's enough in Diablo 4 to draw me back. And I saw that there's April or May or something like that. Diablo's going to have another season. I don't think I'm going back to that. I'm honestly thinking about just uninstalling it and freeing up the hard drive space. I think Diablo 4 has ran its course for me, unless they do something massive and maybe come out with another section of story or something like that. I'm not sure, but I think I'm done with Diablo 4 for now. Titan Quest 2 just dropped a playtest today and I checked it out and I need to get a video out for that because I liked it and I'm really looking forward to Titan Quest 2 coming out. I had a blast playing Titan Quest And I still need to finish off the Titan Quest. I've got all the expansions for it. I want to go through there. And so somewhere in the next few months, I want to do all that too. But we've got Titan Quest 2 coming out soon. Hopefully, I'm really excited for that one. I just did a video for Dragonkin the Banished. I'm slowly going through that. I'm really enjoying it. That's pretty cool. Looking forward to that one. It's in early access, so that's another one to just keep installed on the hard drive and see how they release content and what they do with it. Grim Dawn, we've got an expansion coming soon this year. I hope not too soon, but I hope we get it middle of the year or something like that, because I'm really looking forward to the Grim Dawn expansion. I really want to go play that one. That's going to be exciting. And then on my ARPG tier list, somebody recommended Ghost Lore and somebody else recommended the Sloremancer, so I've picked both of those up. I've got those to check out. And then today, I think it's today, the Fate Reawakened set. It's like all 4 Fate games in one just released, so I'm going to be playing that at some point too. A whole ton of these games that I've been wanting to go through. There's still some other ones that Warhammer Chaos Bane, I just grabbed that. I want to go through that. There's the Warhammer Inquisitor. I've got that installed, ready to go. Wolcen, I wouldn't mind going through Wolcen again sometime. That's probably later on this year. And then there's, I don't know, 1 or 2 others. So there's a lot of ARPG, Diablo-like, Exile-like, whatever you want to call them. I got a whole bunch of these things that I want to play. And with Path of Exile 2 being the way it is, I don't have to worry about it being in the equation. So my plans are Last Epoch, PoE, Titan Quest 2, Dragonkin, Grim Dawn, on and on and on. Everything but PoE 2. So anyway, what are you guys thinking about it? You guys interested in Last Epoch? You interested in PoE 2? Pass on both of them? Playing both of them? I don't know. Let me know down below. I'm actually kind of curious what everybody else is thinking about doing. But anyway, those are my thoughts on the whole situation. And as a fan of this style of game, I can tell you that it feels good to have two big games stepping on each other's toes, because that means we've got a lot of content to play. You know what I mean? Like, it's good to have a bunch of these games sitting out there and that they're popular and that people are fighting over playing them, rather than having one that releases every 5 years or one that's mediocre every decade or so. But at any rate, that's going to do it for this video. We will catch you on the next one. Take care.